Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this session of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session all about the fear of abandonment. And I was working with a client that as a child felt that they were abandoned twice, one at the age of around about 6, the other at the age of about 14. And in both cases, it wasn't abandonment, it was a bereavement. But to a child, it can feel that way. It can feel like, why did they leave me? How could they leave me? Rather than how an adult might look at these things as a natural part of life. And I think that comes from the vulnerability and dependency of a child. If the person that dies is your source of love, attention, learning, protection, security, and they go, that could feel like a very vulnerable place and a very emotionally devastating place, in which case the unconscious mind can go to great lengths to try and protect from that level of emotional pain. And what some people do when they feel that they were abandoned is to not let people get too close, keep people at a distance. Some people can wear a bit of a mask so that people don't really get to know the real them. That's a way of protecting. Some people will sabotage friendships and relationships because if they feel that they develop too much, then it could be more painful if that friendship or relationship ends. So self-sabotage can be one of these coping strategies. There's many different things, but it really comes down from a deep fear of either abandonment or rejection, which is a cousin of abandonment. And sometimes you get these strange cycles where the intention is good in the sense that this unconscious part really wants to protect from pain, but in doing so, quite often can either miss out on the true thing that it really wants, which quite often is love or connection. So it never really gets the real thing. It's just accepting a substitute that feels safe. Or you get this element of a never-ending cycle where things happen. It's almost like a moth to the flame analogy. Something feels really desirable. They get closer. And then the moment they get close, they then sabotage that thing because it feels too dangerous. And then, of course, there's that inner need that desires that thing, whether it's love or connection. That would be the flame to the moth. But they get too close, and then either it feels too painful and they back away, or they sabotage it to destruct it. And it's a case of jumping from the boat so that they're not pushed. And all of these dynamics are going on, and they come from a really good place, but from that good place, very painful things can happen. And this particular client had very extreme levels of anxiety because they considered what they really wanted, which was love. And then that part that was protecting them and felt like love equals risk, then created the anxiety to deter that possibility from happening. So if you have this feeling of self-sabotage or fear of abandonment, or you feel that either you never let people too close, or you sabotage things if they're going good just in case they go bad, you might be able to connect with this. It does involve timeline therapy and going back to the point where some of these beliefs were created. It has an element of inner child work, and some of the references would have been ideal for the client and not quite right for you. So I would encourage you to ignore any suggestions that don't quite fit your circumstances, accept the ones that do. And if you like the idea of a bespoke session rather than this recording that was done for someone else, there will be a link in the description where you can schedule a free consultation call to explore working with me. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. You're welcome. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just allow your eyelids to close. And with your eyes closed, just give permission to release. To release that feeling of tension that you've been holding on to. To allow any feelings of anxiety and worry to feel like it's melting away and leaving your body in your outward breath. Each breath can be slightly deeper than the last. And as you exhale, that's it. Feel that wonderful sense of release. And maybe you can scan your body for any clues of tension. Maybe around your jaw, your forehead, neck or shoulders. As you breathe in that resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation, that's it. Just allow it to be released, to let go. Breath by breath, just releasing that stored up tension that you've been holding on to. And I want you to feel that it's safe. It's safe to relax. It's safe to let go. And everything you've been through has been coming from a good place. A place of protection. A place of keeping you safe. And everybody knows at least one person where their heart's in the right place. But sometimes when they try and make things better, it has unintended consequences. And I want you to think that way about a part within you. Perhaps an inner child, a protective part, that all it's ever wanted was to keep you safe from being hurt, abandoned or left. But what if that part, trying to protect you, is preventing you from having the thing that would equate to true happiness or fulfillment? For some people, what feels like a fortress becomes a prison. The thing that keeps you safe keeps you trapped. So breathe in that relaxation, exhale that tension. That's it. And as your body relaxes, you can breathe even deeper. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And as your body relaxes, your imagination awakens. And I want you to imagine that you keep your physical body exactly where it is. But your imagination can go all the way back. I want you to imagine floating back through time. At your current age, keeping your physical body there and floating all the way back to perhaps when you were maybe 5 years old. And I want you to go back and just see yourself with your grandmother. I want you to see that innocent, vulnerable, impressionable child receiving the thing that you valued more than anything else back then. Love. And I want you to imagine you're just this invisible entity watching that version of you just 5 years old, receiving all of that love from your grandmother. And I want you to wait until that 5-year-old version of you is just playing or relaxing alone. And I want you to imagine how it would feel to no longer be invisible and say hello to that little 5-year-old. And I want you to do something fun. I want you to convince this 5-year-old that you are them from the future. And I want you to do that by telling them a secret that only they know. That's it. And once you've convinced that 5-year-old that you are them from the future, just let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And I want you to tell them that they are worthy. They are valuable. They are loved. Because you are them and they are you. And I want you to tell them something difficult for a 5-year-old to hear. I want you to tell that 5-year-old that life and death is natural. And if someone dies, it doesn't represent abandonment. It doesn't mean that person's left, even though it feels that way. And I want you to tell this child that even if the person that they love the most and who loves them goes away because they're older, maybe has a disease, that doesn't mean they're being left. And I want you to tell this 5-year-old that no matter what happens in the future, you will always be there for them. Always be there. Never go. And give that little 5-year-old a hug. A real hug full of warmth and love. They've been protecting you, but you need to protect them now. And I want you to go forwards in time, holding their hand to the moment just before their grandmother's passing. And I want you to tell them, this is nature. It can be sad, but it does not represent abandonment. This is not them leaving this 6-year-old. It's them experiencing what happens to everyone. But even though that person they loved is no longer there, you are there for them. Tell them that they are worthy of love. Tell them that they deserve love. Tell them that the only thing that can impede real love is fear. And if they're afraid, love becomes elusive. But if they are courageous and vulnerable, it opens the door to love. And I want you to give a resource to that 6-year-old, something they need. And it isn't courage or confidence. I want you to give them a glowing ball of energy called self-love. Give it whatever color feels appropriate and pass it from them, from you to them, and see them hold it in their little hands and hold it up to their heart. And the love that they used to get from their grandmother, they are now able to give that love to themselves. And I want you to feel that that 6-year-old now is giving you something that you need. Vulnerability. 6-year-olds are vulnerable. But imagine that 6-year-old is giving you a glowing ball of energy that represents that vulnerability. All this time you've been trying to keep yourself safe by being strong, by avoiding that thing that feels scary. But what if that vulnerability is what's needed to create a level of connection that is real love, not a substitute for it? You've given self-love to that child, and they've given vulnerability to you. And I want you to give that child a hug and tell them that you will see them soon. And then I want you to go forwards in time, perhaps just a few days or maybe a week before your mother's passing. You're not seeing a 6-year-old, you're seeing a 14-year-old. And when they see you, they smile, they're happy you're there. And you're happy to see them. And I want you to fill them with compliments. Tell them how smart they are, how capable they are, how beautiful they are. Give all of that love to that 14-year-old version of you. And just feel that connection. Feel all of that love flowing from you to them and them to you. That's it. And just tell them that in a few days from now, their mother will pass. And this isn't an abandonment. This isn't them leaving you. It's a consequence of choices made and the health ripple effects of choices, good or bad. And once you've reassured that younger version of you that what will happen may feel sad, but it is not abandonment, just let me know by nodding your head. Hold their hand and then be there at that moment. That time when your mother passes. And I want you to be the love and the constant for that child. And I want you to tell them something wise. I want you to tell them that you can't pour from an empty cup. That if they desire love, it starts with self-love. They can't look to others for love. They nurture it within themselves. And when they are abundant in love, they've got plenty to give. And when they give, it finds its way back to them. And when that 14-year-old really understands that, I want you to give them a hug and feel that acceptance, that self-love flowing from you to them and them to you. I want you to get a sense that you are healing an inner child. And an unhealed inner child will try and protect you. But now you are protecting the inner child. And you don't protect the inner child through control or self-sabotage. You protect the inner child through resilience. Those that are afraid of being abandoned or left may sabotage a relationship before it can flourish. They might seek validation or passion or obsession rather than something real. Nobody can have a guarantee of love. That's what makes it real love. It carries a risk. And I want you to imagine going forwards in time, seeing how that healed inner child would have done things differently. I want you to see if maybe things that gave them anxiety didn't do so much, if they needed that love from a sibling or a partner. Maybe it's because they didn't feel it within themselves. A flower that is wilted will do anything for sunshine and rainwater. But a flower with all of those things can want the sunshine and rainwater but not need it, not be afraid of losing it. And I want you to feel that you are wiser now. The things that have happened have been a rational response to feelings of overwhelming loss as a child. But what if now self-love and vulnerability mean that your whole nervous system can calm down? You don't need guarantees of love. Anyone that needs a guarantee will find something that is a substitute. I want you to get a sense that you're not interested in a substitute. Otherwise, you wouldn't have tried to manifest something real. I want you to get a sense that now you feel that you are safe to pursue what is really desirable. And over the next few days and weeks, new thoughts will pop into your mind, new ways of evaluating things. Any anxiety is now just echoes. The real clues will be intuitive thoughts about what you really want. Not guarantees, but something real, and something real can't be guaranteed. And if your unconscious mind is open to new beliefs, new ideas, new ways of thinking about what you truly desire, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And I want you to visit that inner child one more time, around the age of 20, just before a panic attack, where they started to feel like they had the things they really wanted. And I want you to remind that younger version of you what they really want they can provide from within. I want you to get a sense that version of them, tell them they are worthy. They deserve good things. And when they accept that, let me know by nodding your head. And give that 20-year-old a hug. Tell them they're loved. Tell them they're worthy. They're valuable. Tell them all the things you needed to hear when you were that age. And I want you to feel that this inner child that was doing everything to protect you now feels that they have a new way of protecting you. not through fear of losing something that you value, but by giving you the self-love you've always craved. And connect with that now. Connect with that self-love. And every time you do something nice for yourself, you're giving yourself that thing that you value. And you can go back to this inner child at any age, at any time. But for now, it's time to return to the present. But feeling like something has changed. Something that means that that state of hypervigilance is no longer needed, as you've healed a relationship with a part of yourself. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Connect and calibrate into the here and the now. That's it, as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken. But the part that awakens is that healed part, that calm part, the part that feels that the future you really desire is now possible. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8. Open your eyes, open your eyes. That's it. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.